Welcome back. Today we're going to try to work on, you know, on the project, and we will keep going on with what we were doing the last day. And last day, wait, this is not it. So I want to take a look at the where the hell is that? 2026 development notes. So, as you can see here, we already converted the 2026 roadmap into different tasks, and we started working on some of them. And so this is, we already undid unwanted changes for for the 2024 work, and this is the i386 support. Okay, and so we had a bit conversation, a big thinking about how to organize all of this. Okay, so the hell is this? One second. Yeah, okay. So the idea today is to talk with an LLM, which is ChatGPT, and I want to discuss all of this regarding how to build all of this, because I'm not sure which path to take in order to organize all of this. You know what I mean? So, yeah, let me see. So, if let's just start with all of this. So basically, I have a new ChatGPT account. Unfortunately, it's in English. I'm not sure if I will be able to change the UI into, look at that. This is going to be English. Yeah, English USA. Nice, because that way we have whatever, but it's much better. And what I want to be doing here is turn on memory, because that's something that it's settings personalization memory. So in settings personalization memory, manage. So it's reference saved memories. Let ChatGPT save and use memories when responding. Okay, so now we have this turn on, and well, we have more stuff. So this is what so these are different examples which we are going to remove. We don't want any of this. So first of all, we're going to be working on a new group. So hopefully, so apparently you cannot. Okay, so we want a new project. So the project is going to be Rescatux, Rescatux development. Yeah, Rescatux development for now. We will see later on. We will work on whatever. So Rescatux development. So what I want to do is a bit complex. So I'm going to create a new file in order to ask this with a prompt. So this is going to be LLM architecture advice. So yeah, so here on the top I'm going to open number 2, which is the i366 support, which is something that I also have down here, but yeah, I want to be working on that. So yeah. So first of all, so this is going to be LM architecture advice. Okay, and I'm going to do this prompt, which is which I'm going to write it right now. Okay, let me make this bigger so that it's easier to read. So help me redesign build system for Rescatux. Ask me as many questions as you need in order to give me your best advice. So Rescatux is a live CD that helps users with GNU Linux and Windows boot issues. So this is a Debian based live CD. In order to build Rescatux, wait a minute, I need to hear myself, isn't it? Where the hell is this? Here it is. Yeah, I am able to hear myself, so this is working as expected. And yeah, let's go. So in order to build Rescatux, live build from Debian, live build project from Debian, it's being used. After the build system refactor, we want to ease the build of the Rescatux images for the following targets. And so what are the targets? I already have them here on the top, which is, this is what we were working. So after the build system refactor, we want to ease the build of Rescatux images for the following targets, which are those ones here. Okay. So these are the different targets, and I can explain which is an hard disk image aimed at USB devices. In AMD 6 architecture systems. So this is like this, and the i386 architecture systems. And this is a CD-ROM DVD-ROM DVD image aimed. No, so see the image in AMD 64 architecture systems, and this is i360C architecture systems. Okay, we want to ease the build of Rescatux images. Okay, so I bold whatever I want to be doing best. So I have already started a Docker rewrite so that many steps can be done with Docker, although much more could be done. I already have knowledge. I already have some experience with Maldua build system for Zimbra. Let's Zimbra Force Builder for Zimbra, which uses Docker file under the hood in order to build the different Zimbra DGCs in their own platforms, which is Docker files. So what else? So now what I want to do is to print some files. I am going to share some of the existing files, but you are welcome to discard or fuse some of them if you feel this is too cumbersome. So for now we're going to be making a so Rescatux repo, which is here. I'm going to open a terminal, and let's see, what do we have? Look at that. Here we have some sh, which maybe I can do like this. I can put them into one line, which I'm not sure if it can be done better. So basically, for all of this, I do not want to have make Rescatux not chroot. Maybe I want, I don't know. Damn it, what's going on here? So for n file in all of this, I want to say something like file n file cat eof how's echo this, maybe with like this so that we don't have any problems. Then I want to cat the file, which is like this. I don't have spaces, so I don't care about whatever. another echo in order to have all of the backticks in the done. Let's see what the hell is this doing. So file, and then you have the different stuff. So let's put bash because all of the files are bash files. And let's also add make common, because make common has some stuff that makes sense. So make common. So all of this, we're going to be writing it on shlm summary.txt, and I also want to be prompting the Docker file. So the Docker file, we will do it manually. So right now, let's open here on the top, and we are going to find the shlm summary, which is here on the top. Okay, so where the hell I am? Going to share whatever. So let's remove all of this. Let's copy and paste. And what else? So I also want to share the Docker file. So let's open the Docker file here on the top. Okay. So this is going to be manual. It's going to be a file manual builder Docker file thing, and hopefully it can highlight this Docker file here properly. Here it is. Hopefully, I'm not sure if we have done anything, but hopefully the the ChatGPT is going to be able to work around this. You know what I mean? It's able to read all of this. So let's go back to the prompt. So help me redesign build system for Rescatux. Ask me as many questions as you need in order to give me your best advice. Rescatux is this and that. After the build system refactor, we want to ease the build of Rescatux images for the following targets. This. I have already started Docker rewrite. I have some experience. I'm going to share the system. So more stuff. So from the other day, we had some notes here, some concerning notes, which I also want to be put in here on the prompt so that he knows everything, and then you know. So as you can see here, what I wanted to do is to replicate each one of the of the folders and so on. So you will find the existing files for the Rescatux build system below. You are, oh my god, you are welcome to discard or fuse some of them. Okay? So this is what I want to be write it down. My main concern is that in addition to be able to build a given platform, which is image type plus architecture. So example Image type is like USB plus i360Cs. I would like to be able to debug and build manually in such and build manually in order to improve the different scripts. So I was thinking on either cloning the repo 4 times for the different 4 targets, for the different 4 platforms, and having the different for the different 4 platforms. I also had on having different folders for the different platform data, so that I only worked in one directory. In addition to the above, in addition to what I have described above, this project depends on 2 different projects that need to be built prior to the depends on 2 different projects that need to be built before in addition to other this project depends on 2 before being able to build Rescatux itself. Those projects are live build and live boot. They are currently found at the Rescatux parent directory. So live build and live boot. Okay. So these projects would also need to be built for their specific platforms. The only difference is that live build and live boot do not have 4 platforms to be built, but only 2 platforms. IS366 and AMD64. So basically, I also had an idea. I also thought on having different folders for the different platform build directories. So that's one approach that I already implemented in supergroup to disk, and I And I have the code handy if needed. Okay? And let's put into parentheses this thing because I don't want to give it so much impression. So much information. I don't want this to be important. That's why it's in between parentheses. Inside parentheses, sorry. So so basically when building let's so basically this thing here needs needs AMD 64 build. Okay, live build AMD 64 build and live boot AMD 64 build. Okay, let's put this thing like this: live build AMD 64 and live boot AMD 64 build. And that's what we are going to be doing in all of these images. Okay, so this is like this, and basically we just have to copy and paste. Okay, so basically waiting. So thank you for your refactor advice. Refactor redesign advice. So here on the bottom we have all of the files. So this is GPL v3 and so on. So we're going to remove all of these because this is actually not needed so that the program understands what's going on here, and this is not needed. We could even remove comments, but for now we're going to remove the GPL v3 stuff because, you know, it's wait a second, let's just remove the copyright because we don't want these to use so many tokens. Yeah, I mean, actually some of these comments are a bit of nonsense because I just copy and paste. So SGT2 stuff. And what about this? Let's remove this too. And now we have the Docker file. So now we have a very nice prompt. The only thing that I have to remove is all of this on the top. And we can send this thing to ChatGPT and hopefully it will answer us. Hopefully this is not too much text for it. Hopefully it can hopefully it can help me advise all of this. And I have asked it that ask me as many questions as you need in order to give me your best advice. So now ChatGPT is going to read all of these, search the best model, which is going to be a good model because this is a new account, and we will see how it goes. Okay, so let's read all the stuff. Close sidebar. Let's read all of this that ChatGPT is going to tell us so many good things because, you know, it's it seems to be a bit sycophantic. So build workflow goals. Wait, where is it? Okay, so great project. A live build-based rescue distro with multiple targets is exactly the kind of thing that benefits from a clean build architecture. Your instincts about Docker, separable platforms, and manual debugging are very good. Before proposing the redesign, I'll ask a structured set of questions so the final design fits your workflow and constraints. I'll group them so we converge quickly. Okay. Let's keep reading on. Build workflow goals. First, I want to understand how you actually build releases today versus what you want. Release builds. When releasing Rescatux, do you normally build all 4 images sequentially in one machine? Or do you sometimes build only one image? Oh. That's a question that we're going to answer. Let's put everything into the current build system enables an hybrid image that supports the 4 platforms at the same time, which is AMD 64. Yeah, which are the yeah, let's just copy this thing and I will just put whatever I think. So it's AMD USB, this thing here, AMD CD, and the other one, which is going to be also i3223 CD. So I had no need to build the 4 ISOs. So I only built one image. Now I want to make the project less complex regarding supporting those hybrid images. Okay, so this is the first answer that we're going to be doing. So let's keep reading. Debug workflow. When debugging, do you normally rebuild everything? Rebuild only binary stage, rebuild only chroot stage, run live build manually? That's a very good question. I have no idea. Let's put here the question. Let's put everything into one line because the LLM is going to understand it better and I'm going to have everything much better. So do you know so I sometimes debug in the same live CD. I sometimes try to rebuild only the binary stage. Well, I'm not sure how the hell did I build all of this, because I think I have development. So I have here a development thing. Let me take a look at this. So this is the Docker manual thing. So actual build. So basically what I do is build build this thing. So let's go back to ChatGPT. The binary is I sometimes in the live itself, but most of the cases I rebuilt everything without the source code by just using make Rescatux. That's my answer. Typical development cycle. Edit files, build, boot, test. How long does a full build take today? How long? I don't know. It's quite a bit, but probably 45 minutes. Yeah, I don't know. You've mentioned live build, live boot. Folks, you maintain. Yeah. So, all of this. So, repository structure. You mentioned live build, live boot. Are those Git submodule separate repos clone folks you maintain? So those are separate repos from forks that I maintain. Those are not hit submodels. So wait a moment, please. Okay, so hopefully there's not too much stuff around here. So yeah, do you patch them often? Do you patch them often? I mean, the one I patch the most often is live build, but once I patch both projects, I'll just focus on Rescap, which is another project, which is another package that it's installed in Rescatux LiveDD. More stuff. Docker strategy. Your manual Docker build Docker file is a very good starting point, but I want to know your yeah. Okay. Should Docker be used for this or that? Should Docker be used for repository or daily development or both? The idea is to have an automatic builder Docker file for almost reproducible release builds and a manual builder Docker file for daily development. Okay. What else? Interactive debugging. Would use something like this shell AMD to open where you can do. Would you like something like this? I mean, would you like this that opens, that can run live config live build manually? My first idea was to just use manual builder Docker file and run whatever I need manually there. Okay, architecture strategy. Right now you use Arc, this and Linux flavors, which is somewhat unusual. Do you really need to correct? Do you really need? Okay, so user space. Yeah. What's this historical? Right now you use this thing or not? Okay, let's write this down. Right now you use this thing, which is somewhat unusual. Do you really need? Or was this historical? So I want. So let's find out here on the top the different images. Yes. I don't need it. This is historical. Rescatux AMD user space plus use wait a minute, kernel. So this is here, and this is. Wait a moment. I have done this not very good. So, oh my God, how I'm supposed to be doing this so bad? Okay, so E366, E366. Okay, I don't need it. This is historical. However, I would like to explore the possibility to add shim binaries for the for this thing, for Rescatux, which is the one with AMD 64 user pairs and kernel, because some specific systems have UEFI BIOS, and you should be able to boot AMD 64 kernel with them. Okay, so this is something. Okay, so what else do we have here? USB image strategy. How are your USB images currently produced? Option A, binary images HDD. Option B, convert ISO to image custom positions. So this is the hybrid thing. They are currently produced they are just ISO images which are hybrid and can be DD to USB. But I want them proper HDD live built HDD images. Live build images aimed at USB devices, which I'm not sure how to describe this. Okay, so build installation. Look at that. One of the biggest issues in live build projects is build contamination. Example, config category is root binary question. Do you want builds to be fully isolated per platform or reuse directories with LB clean? The second thing. So let's copy and paste this thing here. Do you want builds to be example? Stupid thing. Okay, let's do this like this so that it knows that it's a question from him. I want it to be fully isolated per platform. Yeah. What else do we have here? Artifact output. Right now you output here. Would you prefer something like this thing? Yes, that's the main idea. Let's copy and paste, and maybe we can do this like 7. Yes, I want to do this thing, not the other one. Yeah, let's just use this. Yes, that might be that might be a good outcome. Okay, what else do we have? Build a spit. So, important question. Would you like support to apt catching? Example, apt catcher ng. This can release. Would you like support with for apt catching? Example, this thing. No, I already override the default repos to use my own, but I do not discard this to be an improvement for the future. Hopefully. CI/CD. Do you plan to build release on GitHub? I mean, I didn't want to do that, but yes. Do you plan to build release? Hit left to the local server. Local server for now, but I also want to explore builds in GitHub Actions. Hopefully this ends. Oh my god. I think I will have to end this thing here because, I mean, 9 make file versus script. Yeah. Maybe I can answer this thing quite I accept replacing the many scripts with something like this thing here. Actually, I prefer make, I think. Source code bundle. You can generate source code this way. Should you use automatic? So source generation should be release only. Supergroup to disk integration. Yeah, I don't know. Is SGD required for this? SG2D is legacy, but I would like to have the integration as an optional artifact if it doesn't make the build process too complex. Okay, what else do we have? Docker image. Oh my god. of course, we are almost there. Docker base image. Your Docker file uses this, but also builds AMD64 image. Multi-args container, 2 Docker files should okay, so bills should run to Docker multi-arg containers, because you should be able to build A3 in an AMD's installation. Backwards compatibility. Now we can design. We can redesign everything. I do not want to preserve make rescatux.sh. We can redesign everything. Oh my god. Okay, so based on your script, let me read this thing, and we will send this, and we will end the stream. Based on your script, yes, suspend the current duplicate configuration logic, architecture variables, leaking, difficulty, incremental builds, lack of built too many scripts, manual variables and requirements. Pull Docker and tell me, is this much reality? Okay, so current issues are, oh my god, duplicate configuration logic, yes. Architecture variables, plugin, I don't know. Difficult incremental builds, yes. Lack of build as yes. Too many scripts, yes. This is another monitor, yes. No, we only built one image previously. Poor Docker integration, yes. This, well, Docker integration has just begun. Okay, so number 16, and we can go off and whatever. So, do you prefer the build system to look like option A, Debian-like, option B, model CLI, or Docker oriented? What? Builder, build, AMD. Model CLI. I like option A, using make files, but if option C, Docker oriented, makes it easier to work with Docker, so that it's easier to integrate with GitHub Actions, then I prefer option C. Okay, so I'm going to copy and paste all of these onto here because too many things. So this is going to be like Rescatux 2603 BLLM architecture at bias.md. Okay. Okay, so we have the original prompt, and this is the continuation because I don't want to lose any of this. So I'm going to send this, and I will have to end the stream here. Okay, so is this hasn't ended? So let's read this real quick, and we exit stream. We end the stream. The situation is actually very typical for Debian Live-based distros, and you're already moving in the right direction with Docker and platform isolation. I'll propose a clean architecture, but first I'll explain the design principles that should guide the redesign. Then I'll show a concrete layout, Docker model, makefile, and developer workflow. Core problems. Your script configuration is code. Everything is encoded in scripts like this, instead of being parameters. That's right, because because the scripts were meant to is my build instead of, instead of having to write every parameters there. Global mutable state. Live build is reused and destroyed constantly. Dismake, begin hardened, this and that. Platform matrix is implicit. Right now the system pretends there is one platform, this thing, but now you have these four. Docker is not orchestrating builds. Your Docker builds both the developer shell but the build runner. This, that, Rescatux, builder, scripts, platforms, build. Oh my god, look at that. Platforms, platform configuration. So we could have everything into one place. That's interesting. 686, build directory isolation, makefile orchitecture. Okay, look at that. Docker integration. Instead of running Docker manually, makefile runs Docker. This thing internally runs this thing. Docker build a Docker file and make a Docker file.auto. Okay. And make shell inside build script, artifact packaging, source builder, live build. Better approach, vendor live build. What? Okay. Get that action. Config build. Yeah, this needs to be. Yeah, okay. So we are going to end the stream. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.